So this year definitely started off really kind of awful, to be honest. I had come out of just last year and how hard it was for me last year, and I was still kind of in that slump, and somewhere in there it just kind of got progressively worse. And this was at the point where I broke my foot and I was home for 2 months. Couldn't really do very much, didn't really have a choice. So, and then shortly after that I lost my job, and just one thing after another, it just kind of beat me down to a place where I really wasn't sure if I could get out of it. And that scared me because I didn't want to be back in that place again. That place was a place that I visited many years ago, and I really didn't want to be back in that place. So sometime during this year, I ended up putting myself back into therapy because I knew I couldn't deal with it on my own, and I knew that my friends were not professionally qualified to help me get out of this funk that I was in. And I guess the first thing I want to say now is that I'm so much better than I was. Things, while they're not perfect, and it's not my ideal situation to be in right now, they're so much better than they were. And I sometimes forget how lucky I am to have the people that I have in my life, and have the family, and just the general support of people around me that I have. I always forget about that, and I need to not forget about that, but I do sometimes. And there's been a lot of stuff that's happened to me this year that has definitely changed me as a person. I'm definitely not the same girl that I was at the beginning of this year. I'm changed in some good ways and some not so good ways, but change is part of growing up, I guess, and that's one thing I've definitely learned this year, is that to grow up, you go through changes at different points in your life, and I guess this year was definitely one of my biggest. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I'm way more confident in who I am than I have been pretty much my entire life. And I'm not entirely sure how all of this has happened, but it did. And I'm glad that it did, because I've gone through so much of my life feeling bad about myself, feeling sorry for myself, but this year I realized I don't need to do any of that, because you know what, I can be me, and I'm pretty freaking awesome. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I have a lot to offer the world, and that is what I've realized this year. And going into next year, I know there's going to be a lot more change coming my way directly in my face. But you know what, I feel way more prepared for it than I did before. Before, change used to scare me. I used to be terrified of it. But now I think I'm ready to accept it. And I hope that no matter what has happened to you all this year, that you find some kind of peace with everything that's happening to you, because without that, it's hard. It's hard to move on when you're stuck on something that you're not happy with. So, yeah, I love you guys, and here's to having a really super awesome 2012.